Good morning, good evening, or good night, wherever you may be. I'm going to do a video today about the ASX and a few other things as well. We're going to look at gold, silver, and just try and determine whereabouts in the cycles, their cycles, that they are. Let's turn that off. We'll start with, actually, before I start, I'll just say I've been listening to a podcast this morning, the Huberman Lab. If you don't listen to Dr. Andrew Huberman, you should do. It's really interesting to listen to, very scientific. And this episode had Dr. Alec Kunogia, I think his name is. He's a psychiatrist. It's 3 hours long. So maybe if you got 3 hours to sit down and listen to it, do so. Or just have it on while you're doing something else. It's awesome. You'll get a lot out of it, I think. Anyway, back to the markets. Let's start with BHP. As you can see, a BHP, all I've got here is the day chart, and the blue line here is the 200-day simple moving average. And as you can see, we are a long way from it to the upside. It sort of turned. You can see it's sort of probably, I thought, around the $50 mark. It sort of broke out from a long-term sort of sideways range pattern that it was in. And it went up to nearly $60, I think, high. What did it get to? $59.39 at the high. It has come back, though. There was a dividend in there, I think $1.03 dividend that they paid, went ex-divvy yesterday. But getting punished today as metal prices are off a bit. I assume copper's off a fair bit. I haven't actually had a look at that. But definitely in an uptrend, and I'm not going to give advice on this YouTube channel, but if you were looking at buying BHP, now may be the time as it's in this pullback. But it is still a long way from the 200-day moving average, but definitely in an uptrend. And there's a lot going on in the world that would suggest that it will continue. Maybe next, actually, let's look at Woodside. This is another interesting one. Obviously, the war going on, the new war in Iran, has had a positive effect. You can see, just looking at the 200-day moving average, you can see that it was in a long-term downtrend. It leveled off through here, and now it looks to be turning to the upside. Of course, these things can turn down again, but right at the moment, it's looking good. Woodside, actually, all oil stocks at the moment, obviously, are having a bit of a run. They don't seem to be running as much as I thought they would. They're probably still a little worried that the oil price is just a peak and not sustainable. Make up your own mind on that. But I'm actually in BHP and Woodside. I'm in both of those shares, I should disclose. Another one I want to look at, which I was in and I did get out recently, is Wesfarmers. If you're into your patterns, I guess you could describe this as a head and shoulder pattern. There's a bit of a Batman pattern up there, if you can see what I'm talking about along the top here, and maybe the other side of the shoulder, and it's definitely broken to the downside now. As you can see, it's below the 200-day moving average and looking very weak at the moment. I did hold them for quite a while, from maybe 50 to 82 I sold a few weeks ago. They went up to 89 after I sold them, but yeah, there you go. Now they're falling, so it makes me feel a bit better about that decision. I want to look at gold. Now gold, that's just a beautiful uptrend, and while it did get up near 5,600, it just below 5,598. And then come all the way back down to 4,400 2 days later. That trend is not broken, and it's just a beautiful uptrend. There'll be some point in the future, or maybe now, who knows, that that trend will get broken. But you couldn't say that we are anywhere near a bear market on gold at the moment. Another interesting one is silver. Actually, just looking at gold, going back, I would suggest that that uptrend started perhaps back here when sort of when gold got above that 200-day moving average, and then just started moving away from it and kept moving away from it. So that would have been late 2023. So I guess we can say we're, 2.5 years in now to this bull run, where it's gone from just around 2,000 to 5,000, so up 150% or thereabouts. Now silver. Now, if we're using that same method of when the uptrend started, it definitely started a bit later, even though it was sort of moving up here from, say, March 24, never really broke away from that 200-day moving average until May last year. So these really are early days for a bull run for silver. As you can see, it went parabolic there, got a long way from the 200-day moving average, and now I would suggest consolidating. Yeah, I don't think this bull run is anywhere near complete on silver, and yeah, make up your own mind on that. The Aussie dollar, I thought, was interesting. That's turned around massively in the last couple of months. I think there's a lot of money coming into the Australian market at the moment for the mining shares, and yeah, you can see it's gone as it's sort of broken away from the 200-day moving average from around 65 there. Now it's up to 71 or 70 currently. Yeah, that's interesting. Another one I find interesting, probably the last one we'll look at. I just want to make this a short video. The last one I want to look at is Bitcoin. Now, I think I've spoken enough about Bitcoin on this channel. I'm not sure if I have or not, but I'm not a believer in Bitcoin. And I really think this is a good old-fashioned bubble that is going to burst, and maybe it already has. It's actually looking a little bit stronger than it was. It was down to below 60,000. Now it's above 70,000. I think it hit 74 just yesterday. But if you're looking at where that is in relation to the 200-day moving average, it's a long way off it. So maybe coming back towards it a little bit, or letting the moving average catch up to it a little bit, is what's going on here. But I can't see any reason why it wouldn't continue to the downside. It's an interesting one, Bitcoin. It's definitely people who are passionate about it, which they're very easy to manipulate. So there's plenty of scammers out there and plenty of grifters who keep pushing this for their own reasons. But and there's an audience there just waiting to gobble it all up. But yeah, I'm not a believer in it, and I wouldn't be buying it at the moment, at least. No worries, that's it. 8-minute video. I just wanted to put something up on the YouTube channel. Hope everyone's going well. And it is Friday, Formula 1 Grand Prix on this week. MotoGP was back last week. Life's good. Hopefully you're going well. And yeah, I'll talk to you soon. If you have anything you want to say, just put something in the comments, and I'll reply to you there. Thanks, everyone.